Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the preview. Welcome along, everybody. It's been a while. Because we had the sad passing of Her Majesty the Queen, and the game was called off. Everything football-wise was off last weekend. So I had a weekend off. It was nice, good little chill. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's have a look in chat. Well, we're back now, and of course, condolences to the royal family. It's a historic event, and she was, well, a remarkable woman. And it's sad. Any passing is a sad passing. Right then, let's have a look at chat then. How you doing, Sam? All right, mate? You all indeed, mate. Hello, Reese. Ultra Midget says 4-0. How you doing, Ollie? All right. nice profile picture, pal. God save the country. Rest in peace, Elizabeth, indeed. How you doing, James? You all right, mate? Hello, Joe. We'll be sat next to Adrian tomorrow in the lovely Rach Carter Lounge because Terry had a masterclass and won the competition. Beautiful. Ginger's on top. Yeah, congrats, Lucas. Ashley is correct. How you doing, Leo? All right, mate? Been a while. And it's going to be a while until I'll see you as well because I can't do midweek games early. So that means my next early home game will be Birmingham because they move Luton to the Friday night. But first of all, I have a little thing to say. I had something scheduled today, which was going to be by far the biggest thing I have ever done. By far. As in ridiculous. If you haven't seen it, I'll get the thumbnail for the video up now because it's quite mad. This was set to happen. It was set to happen today. However, certain things out of my control led to me putting this statement out. Tan was out of town today, and the people in the office had scheduled it for a day when he wasn't in. So that's obviously something that didn't clearly correlate. Something must have come up last minute that had to take priority, which is fine. So emails have gone back and forth, and we're trying to get a date for still this week, if not early next week. Of course, not the Monday because it is the bank holiday. But yeah, we're trying to put something together, and when it comes off, I will be so buzzing. I will be absolutely buzzed because it's going to be incredible. We've had Jacob Greaves on before, but chatting to Tan slightly tops that. Only slightly, because Jacob, I still love you, brother. Happy birthday. But it's chatting to Tan slightly tops him. Sorry, Jacob, again. But yeah, it's mad that it's come so close, and it was due to happen. And I've got still all my bag of stuff there that I need to take. I had a right nightmare this morning as well because none of my microphones were working. Just give me a second, because I'm just going to turn my camera off while I run and just grab the bag. But I had two of these microphones ready to go. Thinking, right, okay, we'll be fine here. I've had this one for ages. I've had this one for a couple of years. It works. It still does the job. I'm just going to buy another one so then I can get clipped up, and then I can clip one onto Tan as well. And jobs are good, and two really good quality audios, unlike the Jacob Greaves podcast episode. But then I was testing my new one, and it just wouldn't work. So I absolutely shit myself. It was horrific. So I was going into complete meltdown. But it turns out it was all fine. I just had the microphones in the wrong setting. So we were fine. But it turns out I didn't need them anyway. So I got an email at 9 o'clock saying that Tan's out of town. But I'm looking forward to when it does come off. I am ultra confident it will. And when it does, I will have one belting little video for you lot. All right, then. 7 minutes. That's 7 minutes of waffle. But it's a lot less than the usual half an hour of waffle that we had. That we usually have. All right, we'll go back to chat. Rest in peace, although I did not agree with the decision to cancel the game on Saturday, yet being able to carry on in midweek, especially with the country still in the morning, hit stay but strange decision. Interesting. Absolutely, I'm off tomorrow. Hope it's a better performance in Sheffield United game. Killed us in the middle. Absolutely killed us in the midfield. Sam Lucas most likely to score tomorrow. He always turns up when he plays us. He does. Wendy thinks it will be 2-0 to us. Revenge from the 2 defeats we had to them last year. Score prediction, Ollie, we'll get to at the end, mate. You've got to wait for that. Hopefully Wright Phillips isn't as good as his granddad in his prime. But DiMaggio Wright Phillips has been benched for them recently. So that shouldn't be too... that should hopefully anyway not be too bad. Lucas, man, come on. Still no defence. Only hope is we can score 3 or 4. Like I've said, Oliver, you've got to wait. You've got to wait, pal. Got to wait. Opinion on Adidas specials trainers. Well, I've got a pair of Gazelles and I've got a new pair of LA trainer down here. So I prefer Adidas to any other trainer brand. Apart from Umbro, of course. Wrong that. Apart from Umbro, of course. Love Umbro. Beautiful blackout shirts. Can't make a game till next month now. Oh, tough, Lewis. That's very, very tough. Even though looking forward to the game. N4. Nice one, Al. And he thinks 3-1. Okay. Team news. We have a lot to go through again because the EFL have published the official sort of like, what's the word? Registration. That's it. So, we'll start off by saying that Greg Doherty is fit to return after 4 weeks out. It should say fit to return, just out to training bit. He has been training. We think he's ready. Dokan Sinek has returned to light training, and he is around another 2 weeks away from featuring in black and amber for the first time. Benjamin Tete will be out of action after he picked up a hamstring injury in the early minutes of the game against Sheffield United. Initially, it was expected that he'd be out for about 4 to 6 weeks and he'd miss this international break. But he hasn't been registered in City's 25-man squad, which suggests that the period of time he is out for is a little bit longer than 4 to 6 weeks. Andy Cannon, Josh Emmanuel and James Scott also haven't been registered. And Adama Traore has also not been registered. That suggests some things. Alfie Jones was substituted with cramp in that game against Sheffield United, but he's completely fine. James Scott shin, Salah Adine, Ulad and hand with a groin injury, Brandon Fleming with a foot injury, Adama Traore with his hamstring / Achilles problem, Vaughan Colville with his knee injury, and Josh Emmanuel illness remain out injured. But what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at this registration. So this is cities in alphabetical order. So we have Baxter, Coyle, Christie, Doherty, Elder, Estupinian, Fleming, Greaves, Ingram, Jones, Longman, McLaughlin, Uladam Hand, Pelkas, Figueredo, Seri, Simons, Cynic, Slater, Smith, Tufan, Vale, Williams, and Woods all registered. 24 of 25 that were allowed. Plus, then under 21s, we've got Cartwright, Charlton, Kerville, Fisk, Green, Hall, Hines, Jacob, Jarvis, Jones, Leake, Leckie, Lottatala, Lovick, Macaulay, Mills, Nixon, Robson, Syed Manesh, Sims, Andy Smith, Snellgrove, Taylor, Wallace, and Wood. They're the players we've registered, and as you can see afterwards on this document, it goes on to Ipswich. So Aliyah is registered because he's under the age of 21, so he can be registered. Same with Lottatala, even though they're not in the 25. The reason Cartwright and who else is out on loan? Mills and Robson and Smith and Snellgrove are all on here is because they are contracted to us and are under the age of 21. So they're just on that list regardless. So that does leave them. I reckon had Tete, but I reckon because they had to register the players for Sheffield United. So Tete, I think, was number 25 on that list. But then because of his injury, they've thought, right, we'll unregister him. And then if we need a free agent, we have a slot. Then that leaves in January, in terms of thinning out the squad, if we need to improve any more, we can, I think Tyler Smith might move on. Randell Williams, I think, out of the lot is one of the most likely to move on. Same with Ryan Longman. But other than that, I think everyone else is pretty fine. Maybe Doherty and Elder could move on. But all the rest, I don't see moving on at all. So that's the registration. Then out of this lot who are going to play, you think Lottatala might, and Aliyah also will when he's back. But other than that, they're all just there in case of backup. Kerville, he's injured, but again, he's still been registered because he's contracted to us and he's under 21. And it's the same case with all the players that are out on loan, like Robson, like Cartwright, like Smith, Snellgrove. Yeah. That's just the way it is. There's 18 comments in chat. So, yeah, anyway. Oh, boy, the team news for a Hull City squad. Yeah, my God, eh? I'd assume, yeah, Tete, a long-term injury with him not registered, and we've just gone through that, yeah. Bit odds about Tet's not being in the registered squad. Tete, again. Kerville, I'm pretty sure I've gone over this, just not direct looking at the comments, but Kerville isn't registered under the 25. Kerville is registered because he's contracted to the football club and at the time of registration is under the age of 21. So therefore, he's still he's still eligible to play if we need him. What's happened with Tete? Hamstring injury, yeah. Oh, yeah, bit about the situation with Cartwright at Peterborough. Yes, I can. I'll just go through the rest of the chat at the moment. How you doing, Max? You all right, mate? Have I got a cousin called Dan? Yes, I have. 2-1 tomorrow night. Interesting. I think Dwight Gale will cause us problems tomorrow night. Still think we need time to gel. A lot of the players don't look like they're fully fit yet. Get Cannon gone. Dwight Gale. Longman should stay put. Best Brit in the squad. Interesting. Surely formation change from 2-1 striker with Tete and Koval injured. Well, it's been Tete out wide left and then Estupinian through the middle, someone else on the right. But yeah. The loan players, even though they're under 21, because they're not contracted to our football club, we have to register them. But I was going to talk about the Harvey Cartwright Peterborough situation, wasn't I? Yes. So this is another bit of team news which I didn't put in because Harvey, in fact, have Peterborough registered Cartwright? We're going to sit and scroll through this entire document together. Right. S. Still S. Well, I'm going the wrong bloody way, aren't I? Rather, Preston. So Peterborough will be up here. Plymouth, Peterborough. All right, that's it. Okay, right. I know what the rule is. Basically, we can't get away with not registering our loan players because they come from teams that are outside of the EFL. So Peterborough have registered Harvey Cartwright there, and that comes from the fact he is an EFL player at City. And then I think with Bergstrom, the other goalkeeper on loan from Chelsea, I think that will be because he is eligible to play. Well, if he was still at Chelsea, would be eligible to play in the Papa John's Trophy. I think that's the rule. Whereas Vale, he's PL2, Simons is PL2, and they're not Papa John's. I think that's the rule. But who knows? Anyway, Harvey Cartwright is back at Hull City. Why, you may ask? Well, Harvey Cartwright has only played once under Grant McCann for Peterborough this season. That is because, and he missed our pre-season game against Peterborough as well, where he'd still be eligible to play for Peterborough, but he picked up a thigh injury. And ever since that thigh injury, he's been back in training, he's been close, setback. Back in training again, works his way back up, setback. And he managed to play once. Was it the Carabao Cup or Papa John's Trophy that he played in? Is it the Carabao Cup or Papa John's Trophy? Let me have a look. Harvey Cartwright. It was the Papa John's Trophy he's played in. Cartwright, he's made one appearance for Peterborough, and that came in the Papa John's Trophy. So the reason that's happened is because of his injuries and whatever. And Grant McCann has basically said, "Look, what's going on?" He's turned to City's medical staff. He's turned to Al Peacham, the physio. He's turned to the club doctor. He's turned to Will Piers. Basically said to him, "Look, what the bloody hell is happening?" And Grant then said to them, in a conversation I assume went something like this. "Right, you lot, we can't be asked to treat him anymore. He can go back to you for a bit. You sort it out. He's your player." I think that's what the conversation would have gone like. But then, yeah, other than that, not really much to say. Halves back about the group. Training ground every day, physios and stuff like that, I'd assume. But that's all I know. However, though, I have frauded myself a Harvey Cartwright autograph card. Just put his autograph on it from last year. The power of Photoshop, eh? The power of Photoshop. But yeah, other than that, there's not really too much to say. I will be doing giveaways of the autograph cards soon, by the way. I just don't know when yet because I haven't actually got all of them designed. But that's a story for another time. So would you class it as his loan as being terminated, or is he going back there once we've done what we can? He's going back there once we've done what we can. What I'd assume what will happen is Harvey will be here for about 2 months. And then once and then he might even just do a little bit of training with us to get him that first step. 1-to-1. Might do some stuff with Baz, the goalkeeping coach, at the end of training and stuff like that, just to get him sharp again after so long out. But then after that, he'll go back to Peterborough, and he might do that work there with their goalie coach and with Cliff and Grant. But other than that, yeah, don't really know. But he will go back to Peterborough after we've done what we can with him. It's quite common when they have a serious recurring injury on a loan, but they can still feature in the season. They'll just go for medical treatment. It happened. I'm trying to think who it was. It happened with someone. I can't think who because I was going to go for an example, but I've forgotten. I'm expecting City to go back to 4-3-3 tomorrow. I am. And we'll rattle through the rest of the preview in a little bit. Am I deluded thinking we'll get 6th and win the playoffs? I don't think so. I wouldn't say so. Because the team is good. On paper, it's good. But it just depends how things would pan out later on in the season with injuries and stuff like that. Swansea is on Sky because it is a 12:30 kickoff. Sky ever so considerate of the fans as ever. Anyway, ref watch. Let's close down my tab on Harvey Cartwright. Anyway, ref watch. The referees Lee Doty. 4th officials are John Hunt and Mark Russell. 4th official is Andy Woolmer. Stats taken from our last game against Sheffield United. This should be Cardiff, but SOCKS. That means it is what it is in Spanish. Right. So possession. How well, I do see how we had more possession than Sheffield United because we had all the ball in the second half. Didn't out with it. And then the passing correlates. Shots wise, though, we did not have 11 shots. You're taking the mick. Who writes these stats? 11 shots. I can't remember us having any more than 4. 2 of them were Estupinian from one-on-ones, and then 2 fan lifted one over the bar. Other than that, I can't think of anything. And then tackles even. Yeah, that's about it. If the team is good on paper but doesn't prove it on the pitch, guess who's to blame? Oh, we're not opening that can of worms. Right then, head to head, then Stoke's team. So they've got Bersic and goal who was on loan at Peterborough during our League One season towards the back end, but Bodum started their most recent game in net. At the back, I believe in their last game, they've got 3 brilliant centre backs. 4. Flint, Souttar, Jagielka, Wilmo, former Tiger, Josh Timon there. Tariq Fosu from Brentford. But I think in their last game, Jagielka was benched, and it was Flint, Souttar, and Ben Wilmo at the back, with Timon and Fosu, the wing backs. Something's beeping, it's outside my window. Anyway, then their midfield, I think, was Clucas, Baker. Something's beeping. Something's beeping in my house. Hang on. Something's beeping outside. Hang on. Don't know what that is. Anyway, then I think the midfield was Clucas, Baker, and Smallbone, I think. And then they had Brown and Delap up front, or something like that. Gale was benched. Wright Phillips was benched. Josh Laurent was benched, as was Nick Powell. And then, like I said, Jags was benched. And Bersic was back up for Bonham that day. But it's a really strong team. This is the team I said at the start of the season in my predictions would win the playoffs. Anyway, it's weird that I'm happy on Scott. Well, you got his shirt, mate. SOCKS. I was confused, wondering why he's spelling out socks. Yeah, it's SOCKS. Yeah, that's how you say it. That's how it's spelled anyway. I think Sutar isn't back from his long-term injury. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, it was. It was Fox, wasn't it? My God. Clucas looks like an older Joe. God, yeah. I've forgotten pretty much everything now. Awkward interruption. Yes, it was an awkward interruption, that. Just hearing beep, I thought, is my smoke alarm going off? Am I sat here while the rest of the house is just burning around me? But no, it was summer outside. Anyway, right, we've done head-to-head. I've forgotten where I am now. Current form. Right, that's where we are. That's good. This is a good stage to be at. So our recent form then. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1-0 draw to Burnley. 3. Well, oh God. So 3 defeats, a win and a draw. Draw against Burnley, win against Coventry, defeats West Brom, QPR, Sheffield United. Cardiff was postponed. And Stoke 2, 4, 5. A draw against Borough, defeat to Sunderland. Then win against Blackburn. Draw against Swansea, defeat to Reading. Luton was postponed. We're cracking through this nicely. We're cracking through this nicely. I was wondering if you were going to leave the room and not come back. No, I'd have to end the stream. Or I could just load it up on my phone. Sat out in the street as my house was burning to a crisp. But, you know what? We were fine. Look, Stoke is a mature, experienced team in the Championship. That matters. I'd be happy with a goalless draw. Interesting one. Interesting. All right, league table then. We are sat in 12th at the moment. Sheffield United top of the tree from Norwich, Reading, Bristol City, Burnley, Watford. Notice though, 4 out of that top 6 and 4 teams with parachute payments in this division. And Bristol City and Reading, my God, no, I didn't expect those two to be right up the sharp end. Reading especially not, my Lord. And Bristol City, after their opening day, they seem to have a disastrous start, but they've picked themselves up. And fair play. I think 12th shows sort of like where we are as a team with all the injuries. And in terms of gelling, I think that's fine for the time being. Obviously, we want to be pushing further up. And I think we can do that. It might just take a little bit of time. Around the grounds then on Championship match day 10, but what will actually be match day 9 because match day 9 was postponed. So the 7:45 kickoffs tomorrow are Swansea versus Sheffield United, Middlesbrough versus Cardiff, us versus Stoke, Huddersfield versus Wigan, Blackburn versus Watford. The 8 o'clock game is Preston versus Burnley. And then on Wednesday, the 7:45 kickoffs are Rotherham versus Blackpool, Luton versus Coventry, Norwich versus Bristol City, West Brom versus Birmingham, Millwall versus QPR, and then 8 o'clock kickoff on Wednesday is Reading versus Sunderland. Another load of comments here. Should never be happy with a draw at home. Stoke is going ahead, yes, unless you're battling relegation. What goes up must come down whenever it's Reading. Nice. If we've got aspirations of the top 6, then we should be beating Stoke tomorrow. Let's hope we do. Memorable matches, memorable for all the wrong reasons. It was the first game before the first lockdown. And we went to the Bet365 stadium and got battered about 5-1. And then chance of Webb in shit and City get battered everywhere they go were the sounds of the away end that day. Nick Powell scored after 11 minutes before Tyrese Campbell and Sam Clucas scored 2 in as many minutes. And then Clucas bagged his second. And then another former Tiger, Nick Powell, bagged his second in the 86th with a little reply from Leo da Silva Lopez. Our team that day was George Long in goal, a back four of Robbie McKenzie, Matthew Pennington, Sean McLaughlin, Callum Elder. Midfield 3 was Stewart, Lopez and Irvine. Wilkes on the right, Samuelson on the left, McGuinness up top. The bench was Matt Ingram, the goalkeeper, Ryan Tafazoli, Dan Batty, Marcus Madison, George Honeyman, Norbert Barlow, and Keane Lewis Potter, Grant McCann in charge. Got to remember, this is the time when we had Device injured, Burke injured, Lee High injured, and we'd just lost Bowen and Grzycki. So this was about as weak as it got for us that season. And then we went and lost 8-0 to Wigan with a team which, in my opinion anyway, is a little bit stronger than this. Not too many changes. Pennington was at right back. McDonald was in there. Device was in there. Honeyman was in there. And I'm trying to think who else played in that game. Doesn't matter. There's only Callum Elder left from it. And last time out against these guys, it was the game after the Everton FA Cup game, the game just before the takeover, where we lost to Stoke. It was pretty dry. It was pretty dreadful. We come off such a high against Everton thinking, yes, we can do this now. We can stay up. We've got a takeover on the horizon. This is good. We can build on this. And then this game happens. But then the takeover happens in the following few days. We beat Blackburn, we beat Bournemouth. Grant gets sacked. We beat Swansea after Shotter's appointed. And then we just go for a little bit. And then we start to build back up. So it turned out all right in the end, didn't it? So our team that day was Baxter in goal. Back 3 was Deshaun Bernard, Sean McLaughlin and Jacob Greaves. Ryan Longman was right wing back. Keane Lewis Potter was left wing back. Midfield 3 was Doherty, Honeyman and Huddleston, with Tyler Smith and Tom Eaves up top together. The bench was Matt Ingram, the goalkeeper, Richie Smallwood, George Monk, Randall Williams, Matt Smith, my God, Brandon Fleming, and Josh Hines. And as of now, our record against Stoke looks like this, where we've lost all of our last 3 against these lot. And since we got back in the Premier League in 2013, we've beaten them 3 times out of what is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 games. We have won 3, drawn 1, lost. Oh no, hang on. So we've drawn 1, 2. We've drawn 2, 1, 3, lost. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there we go. Less said about that, the better. Let's go back to chat. Let's go back to chat. What day is Stoke? Tomorrow. Our squad is aching. Many injuries, no time to gel. And if Joe would open a can of worms, we'd realise we'd have another big issue. God. Don't get on Shotter's back. This isn't the time. He's got half a squad. Leave it. No reason to have a rant about the manager yet. And that's coming from me. The man famed, sort of, for ranting about the manager. All EFL returning tomorrow, and all the games except Arsenal, PSV and Europa League on Thursday, and Chelsea, Brighton, Man United Premier League games are postponed at the weekend. Yes, that is the case. What issue do we have? Talk about the manager then. A draw is not going to keep a manager from losing his job. Top 6 Prem, Man City, Arsenal 2nd, Liverpool 3rd, Tottenham 4th, Man United just missing out on 5th, missing out on the top 4 in 5th. And then Chelsea, I think, will be 6th. Crucify me. Crucify me. Do it. Do it. Just watch. Oh, Samuelson. Forgot about that 14-year-old. When do you think my chat with Kesler will be? We're trying to get a date this week. But obviously it's tough for me because I've got college and stuff like that. By the way, we got college lanyards the other day. And I'm going to cover this part up. But what they've done is they've stretched our faces to fit a frame. So if I was bald, I'd be Callum's corner. If I had no hair there, I would be a Tic Tac. It's laughable. And we're all butts of each other's jokes in that cafe. But, hey-ho. Yeah, anyway. Manager saying put a list of January Adjun can't sack him. And rightly so, he shouldn't sack him. Give him chance. People who hate Shota baffle me. Agreed. Chelsea made a huge mistake sacking Tuchel. Burnley literally has no clue how football works. He asked Tuchel to play a 4-4-3. So with a goalkeeper, that's 5, 9, 12. That's 12 players. A little meet-up from my lovely lounge and padded seat with Marcus and Leo tomorrow. Midweek games are a push, so I don't think I'll be able to move around. Yeah. Sadly not. I'll come round against Birmingham, though. I won't be able to do it for Wigan either. I won't say what college I go to, but you could probably guess it. Callum's corner, my God, I know. Who would actually want to be the manager if we get promoted? If we get promoted this season, Shota. He deserves the chance if we get promoted this season, no? 4-4-3, you have to be taking the mick. I don't go to Wyke. Anyway, right. Shared shirts. Let's get cracking on with this. We've got James Chester today with us from 2011 to 2015, 171 appearances, 8 goals. With Stoke from 2020 through to 2022, 71 games for the Potters. 0 goals, sadly, for him. Right, I'm just going to check everything's working okay, which it should be, and it is. If I do that, will it let me move through? No. Okay. Well, we'll go with it like this then. Quickly. Chat. Anyway. Well, you can't sack a manager if he gets you promoted unless he walks. Chester always has a decent game versus us. Shame we didn't keep him. Yeah, I liked James Chester. Nigel Pearson, no. If you think Nigel Pearson would come back to Hull City, you have nothing up here. Did you not see how much he burnt the bridges in his first time? That would never, ever happen. Never. Bishop Burton, no. Right. Predicted 11. I think we'll go back to 4-3-3. And I think in goal will be Nathan Baxter. Right back will be the captain, Louis Coyle. 2 centre-backs, Jacob Greaves and Tobias Figueiredo. Although, if it were me, I'd drop Figueiredo and play Jones. Because I think Figs has been pretty poor recently. Very sloppy on the ball. Very, very slow to react to things. I'd go for Jones, but I think if he's going to drop one of them, Shota, I think he'd drop Jones, but I'd drop Figueiredo. Left back, Callum Elder. Holding midfield, John Michael Seri in central midfield, Ozan Tufan and Regan Slater. Right wing, I think, will be Harvey Vale making his Hull City debut. Left wing, I think, will be Demetrius Pelkas. Then up top, Oscar Estupinian. The bench, Matt Ingram, Alfie Jones, Ryan Woods, Ryan Longman, Tyler Smith, Cyrus Christie, and Xavier Simons. So to remind you of that, then I've gone for Baxter and goal, a back four of Coyle, Figueiredo, Greaves and Elder, Seri, Tufan and Slater is my midfield three, with Vale on the right, Pelkas on the left, and Oscar Estupinian up top. Bench, Ingram, Jones, Woods, Longman, Smith, Christie, and Xavier Simons. Yeah. I'd have Scott Parker, Marco Silva, maybe even Dyche if we got to the Prem, but I'd give Jota at least 7 games in the Prem before judging. Won't get promoted for at least 3 years. Interesting. He got pushed out the club in less than a year. Yeah, Nigel Pearson. After Tete getting fouled and never set foot in the MKM again. Well, if he got us promoted, I still don't see how he had it. Well, if he got us promoted, I still don't see how he had enough quality as man. Right, we're ending this debate here. No Doherty, yes, no Doherty. Harsh reality of football. There's going to be a lot more of that soon, especially when you think we've got Salah coming back, we've got Cynic coming back, we'll have Traore coming back, we'll have Tete coming back, we'll have Syed Manesh coming back. There's going to be a lot of harsh reality of football cases coming up very, very soon. But predicted score-wise then, I'm confident. I think it will be a 2-1 win tomorrow. Goal scorers, Harvey Vale and Demetrius Pelkas. You heard it here first, folks. Can't see Shota dropping England, to be honest. I want him to give Baxter a chance, but can't see it. Interesting one. Figs hung out to dry. His style of football doesn't suit back three. He'd be better in a 4. He's no good with the ball at feet. He's old school, no nonsense. Very true. Very true. If Shota doesn't change the defence after all the goals we're conceding, I'll be annoyed. You basically predict us to win every game. Yeah, that's because you've got to have optimism. You've got to have a bit of optimism about you. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have a little bit of optimism. Sing Turks all over the world before I go. Okay. There's nothing in this. And I like it. Oh, here we go. Turks all over the world. Will that do for you? Will that do? Stop droning on about Nigel Pearson. I've had enough. And on that note, I'm off. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you late tomorrow night or Wednesday morning for the Matchday vlog. Yeah, take care. Goodbye.